Hello, hello, hello. It's CWC. Thanks for coming to chat with me. And this is a Monday meetup where I don't go live every Monday, but I go live when either there's a trip announcement or I'm fresh off of a trip. And in this case, I am fresh off of the Carnival Conquest. So let's get in here to chat about all things Carnival Conquest. And I think I released a couple of other videos earlier. So probably want to also touch on those. It's probably going to take people a while to get in here because I didn't announce that I was doing this, but you all know that there is content on my channel every Monday at 7 p.m., whether it be a premiere where we're chatting about a video or we are going live to talk cruising. And we are live to talk cruising tonight on a quick, short, little booze cruise, carnival conquest. So let's get in here and chat. Is it all that it seems? Is it that wild situation of a video? So so let's see who we have in here, and I probably can't talk too long because my voice is gonna go. Me not here saying Fi Ski. Hey, Ski Fi. Welcome in. Me and I, and where it says peace to the chat. You are the first here. Welcome in and welcome in 7 people. My name is Carlene. This is my channel, COC, and we are recapping my time on Carnival Conquest, which you know was our most recent trip. And we have content every Monday at 7 p.m., whether it be a live stream or a video. So tonight is a live stream. Next Monday, hopefully we'll have another video up. But I just got back today. It was my first time. Some of you all know that DCA that had the accident with American Airlines. DCA is my airport. So this is my first time flying in and out of DCA since the accident. And when I say my nerves were through the roof, they were through the roof. But praise the Lord, got here, got home, left, got to Miami safely, and then came back and landed safely. But it was just definitely a weird vibe landing, knowing, all the things that we know post that incident. Let's see who else we have in the chat. I can hear my voice going, so I probably need to simmer down. Folks, speaking to Kristen says, hey y'all. Kristen was on the cruise. Kristen was my roommate because I was on the Lush cruise, which was sponsored by Parkers on the Go. It was a 3-day Carnival Conquest, which was 3 days. First day was a sea day. We had a day in what's it called, Nassau, and we were back in Miami bright and early this morning. So coming in, want to chat and tell y'all how that was. Carnival Conquest has like a reputation in these cruise streets, so let's talk about it. Did it live up to the hype? Steph Stone is in the building. Welcome in, my DMV cousin, Steph Stone. Steph, I can't believe I forgot where you were from last time. Definitely from the DMV. Welcome in. Thanks for being here. Sharon says, hey, C, you survived Connie. Yes, I survived Connie and Connie survived me. So yeah, we'll talk about the conquest after we say some of these hellos. Desiree saying, hey, Desiree, thanks for popping in. Saying, hey, Carly in the chat. Welcome in, Desiree. Kristen says, I just put my stuff away and got under my blanket. Child, so first off, I will say there's a benefit to booking, like instead of booking like a basic economy ticket, booking a like a regular fare ticket, because that gives you ultimate flexibility. So literally, I didn't have a flight out of Miami until like 1:30. And when I got there, I basically got to the airport because of the flight that I bought, the type of ticket that I bought, which is basically one bump up from basic economy. I was able to change my flight or get on standby. So I was able to, instead of waiting until 1:30, I was able to get on a 11:30 flight. And I'm trying to turn this off because my friends love to start texting me as soon as I go live talking to y'all. So yeah, I was able to thankfully got home early, and took a nap. I took a shower, I took a nap, and I was like 7 o'clock every Monday. We got content. So you all got me. Iris Wag Staff saying hello. Hey, see in chat. Yes, my other DMV cousin, Iris Wag Staff. Hey, Iris, welcome in. It'll be interesting. I return to work tomorrow, so it'll be interesting to see what shenanigans are up. I was kind of getting caught up on the news as we were like flying, as I was flying back. And I'm like, all right, back to work in the morning, back to the shenanigans of it all. Me and I said, no one can make me hate the conquest. No one. It's always a vibe. So let's talk about it. So Carnival Conquest, it was interesting. When I got on the ship, I flew in Friday. So I flew in the day that we left, because I will say, y'all heard me say this over and again, as a solo traveler, the day before hotels are starting to add up. So I flew in the day before, the day of, on Friday. I flew in Friday. I got to Miami around like 7:30. I killed some time, got to the airport. I decided to take a Lyft to the port, which was my first time taking Lyft from Miami Airport. I'm pretty sure, yeah, by myself. That was the first time taking a Lyft. I think I've taken the Lyft to a Miami Airport hotel, but I've never taken a Lyft to the port. So I decided, because Miami, a tip that I can offer you all is, a lot of times in Miami, the lifts are like, if you do the basic lift, it's a really small car and they're driving crazy. So I decided I was going to get a what's it called, Lyft Black. Well, fine. And the guy was so patient with me, because I, of course, arrived and I was at departures. He was down at arrivals, and it was my bad. That was my mistake. But y'all, when he pulls up in this Lyft Black, there is a big, like, Donald Trump sticker on the back of his Lyft. And I'm like, this is a Lyft Black. Like, I didn't pay for this. And in my head, I'm like, no matter how you feel about the political climate, I have strong feelings about the current political climate. But I'm like, what if I was taking this Lyft Black to a business meeting and somebody, see me pulling up and they have they have a variety of political views, and that can mess up like a business decision. So I have to make sure, and I took a picture of it. I have to make sure I write Lyft corporate today or tomorrow when I have time, because I was just like, Lyft Black is supposed to be your luxury experience. Like, I shouldn't have any president's big old, I mean, it was like one of those big, I don't know how to describe it. Like he was waving at me big. So I would imagine, like, for a corporate kind of, like, that part of your fare, like, why is this even an option? But got to Miami smoothly. Let's get into some more chats, and I'll tell you all about Embarcation Day. But me and I, when you say nobody can make you hate the conquest, I can totally see it. And I also say, like, why I think the conquest gets the rap that it gets. So we'll get into some more hellos, and I'll get back into talking about conquest. Big Murph is here saying, hey, Big Murph's live is saying, happy Monday, see you in chat. I hope everyone is doing well. Thank you, Murph. Appreciate those well wishes as we kick off the week. Kristen says, it was a vibe. And I have not had that vibey of a sailing in a while. And I also have to, like, preface this with, like, I don't need a super turn up. Like, I don't need a super turn up. But what I do need is a good time. And a lot of times cruises kind of get into the same, we're going to play the YMCA. We're going to, the cruise director is going to pop out. It's the same rotation over and over again, which might be really exciting for if you are a cruiser who, this is your one cruise a year. But as a person who goes on multiple cruises, like, it has become to the point that, like, the club doesn't excite me anymore. The Sailaway party doesn't excite me anymore. And when I say the vibe on Conquest is something totally different. And let's get into going back to Embarcation. Finally arrived to the terminal. I will say, like, I had an A1, what is it called? Departure. A1, what is it called? Boarding time. My boarding time was the first group. I will say the earliest they're going to let you, even if you get like a 10 o'clock boarding, they're not going to let you actually get on the ship they're not going to start calling people onto the ship until 10:30. So I know some of you like to wake up at midnight and get that first, what's the first time slot that you can get. But I would say if you do the early, whatever, try to do like 10:30 or later, maybe 11 o'clock, so you can just walk on, because I will say it wasn't a whole lot of people. At least when I got on the ship, I arrived to the port about like 9:30. I sat there 10. I had maybe like a little shy of an hour, maybe 45 minutes to sit. And then the boarding was really smooth in the terminal on Friday. Let's see who else is here in the chat. Autobot Diva says, hey. So I hear your voice is gone. Yeah, it's going. And it's probably why I'm not going to be able to last too long, because my issue is whenever I push to try to do these Monday meetups on the day after a cruise, or on this case, the day of a cruise, I got off the ship this morning. My voice will be gone for the rest of the week. So I probably should take it easy. But I wanted to make sure you all had a Monday meetup, 7 o'clock every Monday. We're here with either a live stream or we're here with a video premiere. So welcome in 21 people. My name is Carnival Conquest, and we're recapping my time on Carnival Conquest for this weekend. Edward Stratton says, good evening, C, and everybody in the chat. Iris says, yes, my nerves are on deck for my flight Saturday from DCA on American Airlines to San Juan to board Resilient Lady. Yeah, and I mean, it was basically like, and Iris is talking about the airport I was mentioning. You just got here. My home airport is DCA, and it's interesting, Iris. Right now, flights to DCA are a little cheaper. I noticed since the accident at DCA, flights from out of Dulles and BWI have went up. I'm thinking people are preferring to fly from Dulles and BWI because what we learned from that unfortunate incident is that DCA is the what was it called? Busiest single runway in the nation leading up to that accident. I've heard that they put measures in now where there are going to be a lot of flight delays coming into DCA because they are working on spacing planes out. Because if you've ever watched the flight patterns in DCA, it's like plane after plane after plane after plane. Well, they've slowed some of those down, and then they've restricted the airspace a little more. But I kind of want to still give it a little more time. So I have a couple of flights already booked out of DCA, but I'm going to try to, for this summer, when I can, fly out of Baltimore or Dulles, because those runways have a little more, it's less concentrated airspace and a little more places, a little more, space to land. But I will say it was smooth sailing. But when I got on the plane on Saturday, like walking down the jetway, I just kind of felt sad because, those people like were so close to landing and, lost their life from just a freak accident. The airspace is interesting. It seems like they still have some of the recovery vehicles and tents and stuff off on the runway. Like you can see it where probably were staging things. There's still some of that leftover equipment. Where the parking ride used to be, there was some staging there, and they've removed that since. So we'll be praying for you, Iris, but I will say it helped me to clap. Like I'm the person who now claps landing because we can't take it for granted, for sure. Marilyn Mel Tips is here saying hello to everyone. Hey, Marilyn Mel Tips, welcome in. Margaret Logan is here saying hi, everyone. Hi, Margaret. Kristen says everything smoking out of Miami was delayed today. Yeah, and I got out. I'm glad I got out early. My flight, I'm not sure with the moved up flight was on time, but when we pushed back from the gate, I noticed it took a long time for us to start moving, then get on like the taxiway, then like run it. Like we were on the runway after we pushed back. We were like 30 minutes just navigating, getting in line. So Miami was a mess, and they were flying around some weather. So I noticed it was like some bumps about 30 minutes out, and then getting closer to DC, we ran into some bumps too. So they were running into some weather. Your favorite couples here, and they are on Virgin Voyages right now with Melanin C3.5. Your favorite couple says COC definitely have to cruise on Connie soon. I think y'all would like it. So let's get back to Connie content. Got on the ship at about 10:30, excuse me. Got on the ship about 10:30. And it was kind of eerily quiet. Like I was telling Kristen, I was like, yo, it kind of feels like this ain't a Carnival cruise. Like it was eerily quiet for a long time. Like it was like two hours where it was just kind of like, where are the people? Where is this vibe? Where's the energy that like the Conquest is known for? And then even Sailaway like started, and it was only like a couple people on the dance floor, but as you started looking around, the whole Lido was just filled with people. And then as soon as they played the right song, that dance floor was packed. The Lido was packed. Like it was people everywhere. I skipped the buffet, but I went to Guy's Burger. The Guy's Burger line was so long. So if you can't get an early time, boarding time, just to skip the line, get your lunch, and start drinking. It even got to the point that like the Lido bar, so they have Blue Iguana on the deck, and they have Red Frog Rum Bar. I would say get up Guy's Burger, get your spot that you want to have for Sailaway, and get as many drinks as you want in your system before Sailaway happens, because about like right before Sailaway happens, the bars get insanely packed and it's going to be hard to get a drink. But as soon as they played the right vibes, as soon as they get the right vibes, like everybody popped out. Triple J Marcelo says, yes, this carnival needs to reinvent themselves because it's getting stale. I will say like a lot of this one had a little flavor to it. So there were songs played on Carnival Conquest, and that's what I was kind of getting to. Like when I cruise so much now that it all becomes repetitive, like even across lines, it becomes repetitive. But Carnival Conquest has some songs that they whipped out that I have not heard on any other ship, Carnival included. Of course, they had a couple of little songs that, you know, are always their like startup music, but they played some songs that like there were people who were trail riding to Follow Me. I did not hear Boots on the Ground. I was expecting them to play Boots on the Ground, but they played another line dance that usually isn't played. So I would say they kind of mixed it up on Carnival Conquest, but it definitely does stick to like kind of the kind of set Carnival playlist, but in a good way. You only go with Yellow's here. I got to meet Yellow this weekend. So good to see you, Yellow. Happy you made it back to New York. Folks are speaking to Dre and Michelle and Big Murph. Folks are speaking back. Mom, Mamie Chanel says, glad you made it back in one piece. Hello. Listen, in one piece is you can't even joke about that now because did they play the Tamia dance? Yes. They played the Tamia dance on Sailaway. And then they played it. So they played it on Sailaway. The Sailaway party was standing room only. Travel Yes We See was texting me. It was like, yo, it's going to be selling standing room only. So we got a spot at the Red Frog Rum Bar and parked it before like finally getting into it. They played Palance, which Carnival has pulled back on playing Palance. They played that. So I would say the Conquest still has a little flavor to it. And then they played Tamia on the first day. Yes, they played Tamia line dance and people knew how to do it. So yes. And Crazy Whole Body Girl is saying, hey. So after the Sailaway was epic. Of course, the Conquest is the first ship that gets out of Port of Miami. It was a busy day on Friday. So it was like 6 or 7, cruise ships in port on Friday. We were the first to push back. So of course, everybody was like watching us, and rightfully so. And like, it was just like a vibe. Everybody was like, you could probably hear people's voices on other ships like for us. So we pushed away, got out to sea. It was a little choppy that first night. And I elected to go to the main dining room. The other ladies in the group they did the steakhouse dinner. I decided, because I have given up thoroughly on cruise ship steakhouses. There's only one cruise ship steakhouse that I appreciate, Cagney's on Norwegian, particularly the Prima class ships. That's probably the only steakhouse that I will spend money to go back to. So I'm tired of getting duped with Carnival, or not just Carnival, but steakhouses on ships in general. So I opted to go down to the main dining room. And in going down to the main dining room, there was a dish there that usually like Carnival seasons. So we can talk about the food. Like some people were mentioning that like the food seemed a little different on this sailing. So like when I sailed Carnival Valor's food looked like tasted like they stole somebody's auntie out of the French Quarter and put her in the ship for the whole sailing. All that food was seasoned. We ate like 2 and 3 of each plate. However, I got the braised short rib on Conquest, and I was like, okay, maybe I'm tripping. And I'm not a girl who needs a ton of seasoning. Like I was a girl in school who liked the school lunch. I was kind of like, yo, this seasoning is like lacking. The people who went to the steakhouse was like, it was kind of okay. And a few other people mentioned that the food on Conquest in the main dining room wasn't really hitting, but they did have a midnight buffet and it had solid options. So that was something that I appreciated Carnival Conquest for having. I'm glad Carnival has brought the midnight buffet back so that people can stop fighting at the pizza spot because that's the only place open. So the midnight buffet was legit. So let's get back in the chat. So yep, we did a Tamia dance. Autobot Diva says they played Tamia on the Freedom twice. Yeah. So the second day, the first day they gave us a lot. They gave us it was almost like an extended sail away. Because I've been on Carnival sometimes where they do a Royal Caribbean and they try to just give you a 30-minute sail away. And I've been on Carnival sometimes where they give you extended. And then Conquest had an extended sail away, and then they tag on after the Fun Squad does their little routine. They tagged on probably another like 30 minutes. Like people were up on the Lido deck almost until like 8, like before dinner, like 6 o'clock, 6:30, the Lido deck was still packed from the Sailaway party. So I kind of like that vibe because I'm an outdoor cruiser, so I like hanging outside. The next day, though, Autobot Diva, they had this hottest line dances class or thing on the deck. And that was the one that they played Follow Me, which the girls were starting to do trail riding with that. They played another one. It was like right foot stomp, stomp, stomp. And like, I don't know what that one is. But anyway, they played one line dances. It was not the biker shuffle, but it was like another one that you can trail ride to. They played all of them, and I thought they were going to put boots on the ground on. They didn't. So they did play Tamiya though. And I would say the cousins have learned how to do Tamiya finally after 2 years. On a Go with Yellow says, I enjoyed and appreciate the vibes on Conquest. Yes, yes. Crazy Homebody Girl says, I'm trying the steakhouse on Embarcation Day this Friday. Yeah, I say try it. It's just that I've done so many cruises now, and I've tried almost everybody's steakhouse, and I'm done with paying the extra money for cruise ship steakhouses. And they've even adjusted the rules in regards to like the wine, because it used to be like free bottle of wine on first night, and I feel like they've reduced it back, or at least they reduced it back for solo travelers. So now they'll only give solo girlies two glasses of wine versus they used to give you a free complimentary bottle. Because now I like school lunch. Listen, my mama lied on that free and reduced lunch application. I hope they don't like arrest people retroactively. My mama lied on that free and reduced lunch form every year. She wasn't bold enough to put like enough to get the free lunch, but she like lied enough just to get the reduced lunch. So I paid 40 cents and I ate that school lunch. Me and I said school lunch was top tier. Hello, Grateful Hood child. Give me a chocolate milk. Give me that little cardboard box pieces. And see, because I went to PG County is like it's a very black county, one of the wealthiest. I don't know if that the demographic has changed. It's one of the wealthiest counties, black counties in the nation. Well, of course, our lunch ladies, like, even though the lunch ladies were supposed to like stick to the script in regards to cooking, like our lunch ladies remix the lunches all the time. So while like, your school lunch might have been like the greens, like we were kind of eating somebody's like auntie greens in PG County Public Schools. Seth Stone says, that's why I have to bring my own seasoning and sauces. Except this was the first time that like I'm not a seasoning and sauces. I'm a very light packer. And I will say the seasoning and sauce people like used to piss me off. However, on Conquest, I was like, damn, I need a little package of Tony's, whatever, charcuteries. I could have used a little pack of that because the braised short rib was like, it was tender, it was moist. But I'm like, y'all forgot like a couple of ingredients, and salt being one of them. So I could have been the girl who had like a pack in my purse for this sailing, which threw me off guard because usually Carnival's food is sustainable. Like it gets you through. And something was a little wonky with Conquest food. But the vibes made up for it. Big Murph says they didn't want y'all to break those fans out. That's why they didn't play it. But listen, the fans came out. The fans came out on the C day. But the girls had their fans ready. Mina says after 2 years is crazy. And Mina says chocolate milk was collateral for all goods and services. Yes, stash you a couple of chocolate milks and somebody's going to do your test. Somebody will give you a pencil. All the things. All right, so I had dinner in the main dining room. I met the ladies up at the steakhouse. They were wrapping up their dinner. Some of them said that they weren't really fond of the steakhouse. I ended up going to bed that first night, but the club was jumping. Wait, no, I did not go to bed. I listened to the atrium. No, I went to the casino. I would say the casino was not hitting a lot, but enough. The casino was giving a little bit. It wasn't, the slots weren't as loose as Jubilee's, but it was worth playing. Ended up getting like a $50 voucher for the, what is it called? Spa. But I hit like $80 jackpots twice. So I would say the casino wasn't loosey goosey, but worth it. Then I started heading back to my room. Some of the ladies went to the club the first night, and I was in the room looking on Facebook. Now, what I'll say, what Carnival gives, or what Conquest in particular, I can't say Carnival because I've been on a Carnival ship where the club has been empty. The Conquest, them 3-night sailings, people are in the club every night. And I would say the DJ played some songs that he usually didn't play. So I got into the club because I was like, I like this scene to mix of music. Who else we got in here? A traveling black couple saying, hey, late, but hey, everybody. Hey, thanks for popping in, the travel black couple. On the go, Yellow says the casino was not my friend. Yeah, and this was a cruise that didn't want the casino to be my friend, but I was going to basically try to play to get like carnival deals, and we're gonna see if I get any casino offers. I usually say when you have to ship, you'll have your casino offer. I don't see anything on my phone, so I'm gonna give them a couple more days. But yeah, the casino, I think I got up to like 260 points, so I don't know if that's gonna be enough to trigger any sort of cruise discounts. But I have not figured out Carnival's casino situation. I've heard people play $20 and get casino offers. I've heard people bust it wide open and still not get anything. So if anybody knows the hack for Carnival casinos, let us know. On the go, Yellow says the casino was not my friend. And I tried most of the tricks. Like, well, I didn't try the late night trick of like going at like 1 o'clock in the morning. At least not the first night I was asleep. But I did try the trick of like going early on the second day, and I hit like $80 over coffee, and that was about it. Yellow says the club was crunk. And yes, like if you look at my stories right now, I have the club, and the club was packed down, and not just packed, because sometimes on cruise ships, people go into the club and they're just sitting and watching, which pisses me off. It's like you could have went to your stateroom to act weird. People were actually dancing in Carnival Conquest Club. And looking at the Facebook group, like people every night were like, y'all going to the club? Y'all going to the club? So the club was about. The first sea day, they did group for St. Jude because it was the only sea day. And they finally had a good group for St. Jude party, which made up for Carnival Jubilees. Group for St. Jude was not that great. Carnival Conquest group for St. Jude was good. I don't think they didn't make a lot of money in regards to fundraising, but the party aspect was good. And then of course they brought out, they did line dancing and that kind of stuff. So that was cool. Entertainment wise, I didn't make it to any shows, but they had this one singer in the atrium. So whoever's going on Conquest, this young lady, she can sing her face off. It's going to look like she can't sing her face off, but this young lady could sing her face off. So if you are looking for an alternative that's not the nightclub, or you want to pregame before going to a nightclub, go to the atrium, because the band was so good that sometimes you have a band that's good to just sit and drink, and then sometimes you have a band that actually has people get up and dancing, and it was that kind of band. Who else you got in here? Mamie Chanel say, hey. On the go, Yellow says every night the club was jumping. Yes, every night. And it was so wild to the point that today, like getting off, this young lady like threw up in the passport, or in the line. Was it the birth certificate line coming off of the ship? Sis had too much fun. I'm like, that nightclub got her, because people were in that nightclub every night. Mamie Chanel says, do you have any group cruises planned in the near future? I do. I'm pushing through my voices a little, but this is a good, what is it called? Quick commercial break. I do have a couple of group cruises planned. Let me show you what I got, Mamie. Thanks for that question. I have 1 second. And welcome to 26 people. This is my name is Carlene. This is my channel, C with C. And we have this is Monday meetup, where every Monday I don't go live, but you get some sort of content. And today I am reviewing the Carnival Conquest that I just got off of. All right. So here is what I have trip-wise. Oh, wait. I got to bring this down. Wait. Oh, here we go. There we go. Okay. Sorry, y'all. It always takes me forever to... Here we go. All right. So in regards to group cruises, thank you for asking that question. I have 2 coming up. So the first one is the Good Government Getaway, which will be Labor Day. So leaving August 29th, coming back September 3rd. It's only on Virgin Voyages, Dominican Days, out of Miami. That's basically this year, August 29th to September 3rd. So you can hit me up if you're interested in booking. That cruise is starting at about, the last time I checked, about $1,180 for solos and about $1,890 for 2 guests. Then in 2026, I have the Ultimate Solo Getaway, Ultimate Solo Group Cruise, and that is in collaboration with the Jen Danielle Experience and Sig the Solo Cruiser. But all are welcome. You don't have to be a solo cruiser. You can just come and kick it with us. That's $100 deposit, and that's gonna be June 22nd through 26th, 2026. Leaving out of Fort Lauderdale, heading to Perfect Day, and going to Bimini. Then the last one is a kind of come of you are a wait list for it's going to be a land-based trip in October 2026 during the Columbus Day weekend. And if you're interested in this one, just scan that QR code there and put GoodGov 2026 waitlist in there. And when I'm ready to release it, I will give you the deets. It's coming together, almost playing. So those are your options for cruising with me in the near future. So thanks for that question. Let's see. So thank you for that question, Mamie Chanel. And you can email me at c@gmail.com and I can send you all that information. So just let me know. All right. Who we got? A traveling Black couple says vomiting in line is crazy. Yeah. And so like, it was like, I was coming through the passport line and sis, they had the birth certificate line. So I see them like pop the, what is it called? The barrier right in front of me. And this girl walks by and like, she looks like she's crying. But then I noticed like she has these splotches on her shirt. And I'm like, and then next thing I know, I see like this big circle. And I was like, damn. So the club people were going hard in the paint. Cause I'm the kind of person that on the last night, I'm a dial back. Like I was a little tipsy, yesterday evening after our Nassau trip day. And I knew to put my butt in bed at 6:00 because what you don't want to do is be flying back hungover. So I knew when to cut it off, but I guess sis, was partying the night before and it all caught up with her in that damn, in the line. And I don't know if the tears were like, if she just was really that sick or if she was embarrassed, but I wouldn't have known. But when I looked at her, I was like, oh my gosh, she's crying. And then I looked at her shirt and I was like, oh wait, it like you vomited on yourself. And then I could see the aftermath. So yeah, solid deck party, back to Carnival Conquest, solid deck party. During the day, the evening, comedy. So do you all know Thea from like, what was that, BET? She had her own show. She was one of the comedians on the cruise. I stumbled into one of her, what is it called? Acts or whatever. And I had to like leave after 3 minutes because in my head, I was just like, you know, Thea was a character from my childhood. And, yeah, what I saw on stage, I was kind of like, oh, Miss Thea. Like, so the comedy it wasn't the strongest comedy on a cruise ship, but maybe Thea will be on your sailing. I know somebody said they're about to get on Carnival Conquest, so she'll probably be on your sailing. Also caught the PG show, so maybe she was better at the 11:30 show, but then I also heard somebody say the 11:30 show wasn't that great either. Then the second day our final day, we were off to, where were we off? To Nassau. And hey, Jen. So Jen says, girl, you got on the good old Conquest and did. So I will also say, like, I didn't see a whole lot of shenanigans on the Conquest. Like, it was a good time. Like, it was probably the blackest cruise. Like, there was elevated number of Black folks on that cruise. But what I could see was that it was just folks who wanted to have a good time. Like, it was just, you know, the bank teller girl, the government worker people, like there was a lawyer, but it was just people who wanted to let their hair down. I didn't see anything wild. I know that like in the Facebook groups, because I don't stay out like super late, so I don't get to see all the shenanigans, but the Facebook group said like there might have been some kids on deck 8 fighting. There were some people who were having adult activities in their cabins, and there was multiple reports of, and I'm not sure if Conquest walls are just that thin, but there were multiple reports of like, hey, my neighbors are getting it in and I can't sleep. So that's something to be mindful of. I would say if you can on the Conquest, avoid Like deck 2 is a deck that like if you just want to be on the ship, you're on that deck. I was on deck 9 right off the Lido, and my hallway was pretty quiet. It was also a half hallway, so it wasn't as many people. And I think there was only noise like last night. But the people across the hall from me, I guess, were coming back to their cabin a little drunk, but then they kind of quieted down. Kristen, the room that we had was I liked our room, but Kristen said like you could hear either water or the elevator bay. So that is something to be noted, or you should note that the walls might be a little thinner, or you can like hear some of the like ambient noises around the ship. So I would say I had my little like personal fan turned up. Kristen says she put on her noise canceling headphones for like because she was next to the wall where there might have been an elevator shaft. And so you might want to bring some earplugs for Carnival Conquest between either where your room is located or who is around you, because it is going to be a ship for like revelers. It was a lot of people in the Facebook group just being very upfront about like, we are down to hook up. So basically it was something for everybody on that ship. Autobot Devo says Conquest isn't a ship for relaxation for sure. It is not the ship for relaxation. I will say, even though it wasn't as rowdy as I was expecting it to be. But, one, it's a 3-day cruise. So, like, you're in and out and, people are going to hit the ground running, hit it hard. But people are picking this ship for birthdays and anniversaries and, like, celebrating graduations, those kind of things. So it's definitely like a little elevated energy experience. Yellow says facts. Jen says, yeah, those walls are thin. 8 was so Jen, yes. Okay. So maybe also avoid deck 8. I was on 9, but the people who was like, hey, some in the Facebook groups, if you need to follow the Facebook groups for your sailings, because that's where you're gonna find all the tea. Like I have never personally saw anybody fighting on any ship that I've been on, but like I'll wake up the next morning and the Facebook group would be like, did y'all see the fight near the club? Did y'all? And it's like, no, I went to sleep. But the fight that happened apparently with some kids was on deck 8. There was also a little action, they said, around the sandwich line at one point. Again, I didn't see it. I just saw people having fun. I will say you also something too, even though it wasn't as rowdy as I would expect, you should be prepared to, or if you are easily offended by seeing a whole lot of ass, a whole lot of cheeks, I counted at least 2 areolas from different people. Like people are going to wear their more, the smaller side of Shein outfits on Conquest. So if you don't like want, if you're easily offended by like somebody's attire, particularly if they got their butt out or their boobs out, or if you don't want your children to see that, this might be the ship that you might want to consider maybe not bringing your kids or taking yourself if you are easily offended by people's attire. Because people had their like, they had all the girls out. Jen says she heard the water sound too, and she was wondering what that was. Okay, Kristen, we figured it out because Kristen was just like, yeah, there was like a water. So I slept in the bed next to the door. Kristen was in the bed next to the, I don't know, like the interior side of the ship, and she was like, it sounded like it was water running the whole night, and that threw me off. Hi, Lisa T. She said, I finally caught it live. Yes, every Monday. Either I'm live or we are doing a premiere. And today I'm live because I was traveling. I wasn't able to edit a video, but I wanted to come in and just kind of recap my time on Carnival Conquest. A traveling black couple says, yes, I love 3-day cruises. The crowd is ready to let loose. A traveling black couple, y'all would appreciate it. Because it was just really like, it was kind of giving like young black, it was just black folks, really. It was just a lot of black people and who were ready to have fun. But I wouldn't say like it was like rowdy. Like I thought it was going to be like hood and I'm going to smell like marijuana everywhere and they're going to be fighting in the atrium. And like, it was basically your Carnival cruise, like amplified by like 2 or 3. But I will say you might want to avoid deck 2. Jen says, watch out for deck 8. I was on deck 9, right by the Lido deck. I kind of liked it, but there might be some ambient sounds from the, what is it called? Like ship functions. The traveling black couple says, 7 days starts to feel sleepy to me, plus being trapped for so long. Longer sailings on more port spots to help me. Got you. Yeah. it was definitely 3-day Bruise Cruise vibes for sure. But really cool. Like everybody was just cool. Like it was just cool people. But if you wanted the action, like if you wanted the full like experience, the casino bar, go there. That was a lot of action. Go to the club. That was a lot of action. Yes, Jen. Because when I say there was this lady who was boarding right in front of me, and like she had one of those, you know, it's like those tennis skirts that kind of cut, like it stops right here, mid cheek, and basically you got the under cheek out. Like that's how sis got on the ship. And I was like, oh, you ready to have a good time. Seth Stone says they really dress like Virgin. So they really dress like Virgin Voyage. Is it a Virgin Voyages? I would say I haven't even saw that much butt cheeks on Virgin Voyages. Like Virgin, you know, the girls have the bathing suits that, you know, they're gonna wear their thong. Conquest, the girls did like that was like their outfits. Like they had the thong. And actually it wasn't actually too many thong bikinis. Maybe it was. But it was like the outfits were just like all 3 days, some people had packed their club clothes. And the vibes are vibing. Mamie says that's good advice. Yes. So then for the port day, we were in Nassau. The group did the Ryu Palace in Nassau. We did a day pass there. That was pretty cool. Like I don't think I would want to stay there because it's like on the smaller side of the Ryu experience. But both of the pools, which threw me off, both pools are heated. So if you go to Nassau during like like this time of year when it's going to be cold, like they said the beach water was really cold, but the pools at the Rio Palace, Nassau, the Rio Paradise Island. It's not a palace. Rio Paradise Island. You can get a day pass for $128. It includes food. It includes drinks. It has its own beach and it has 2 large pools with some music. Particularly if you have a group, I could see like I wouldn't do it solo because it wasn't that much of a vibe. I wouldn't do it as a couple, but if you had a group, like the group that the Lush ladies, like the group that Siobhan had, like we kind of brought our fun, and then like we end up meeting with a couple like other birthday groups, but it's not going to be like a bunch of music. It's not going to be that kind of vibe. But the bartenders take care of you, and they have heated pools, so that makes you actually want to get in the water. So that was our day in Nassau. I got back on the ship. At that point, I was a little tipsy. YOLO that of YOLO. If YOLO's still on, YOLO, that final rum punch that you gave me, girl, took me over. And the ladies had a little like dinner situation at the seafood shack. They had a really good seafood shack on board. I had been on a Carnival cruise with a seafood shack. They had boiled my lobster, my crab legs, and to the point that they were like noodles. The seafood shack on Conquest was good. I ate there twice. And then I ended up just like going to bed at 6:00 because I didn't want to be like the girl throwing up in the line. So let's see. We have a couple more comments and I'm going to wrap it. Miami Chanel says it's the same atmosphere on Sunrise. Good to know. And Regina Davis was on Sunrise. I actually think the Sunrise, according to Regina, has more updated amenities than Conquest. I'm supposed to be getting on Conquest again in July, but I'm debating because I want to do one of the Celebration Key sailings. But I'm debating if I want to give up that one to get on another ship that maybe gets to Celebration Key, or do I want to just stick to it just to get the content for Celebration Key? Because like while I enjoyed the vibe on the Conquest, like and it was fun, it's a ship that for me like I don't have to do it again. Like I know if I go on, I'm gonna go be fine. But I don't like to repeat ships, and it was kind of a ship that I'm like, do I want to get back on this ship? It wasn't bad, but it was just like, do I want to get back on this ship? But it's one of the first ships that go into Celebration Key. So I think I might just stick with that booking just to get to Celebration Key to get the content out early. My worry is going to be like, I'm going to get on one of these early ships to get to Celebration Key and they ain't going to have half the stuff ready. That's my worry. We'll see. But right now I have plans to get back on the Conquest later in the year. So we'll see with this summer, like a summer Carnival. And oh my God. And right now I'm on deck 2. So I might have to figure out a way to how to like upgrade myself because I think I would like go crazy if I was on a rowdy deck. Sig is here. Oh, I have both my co-hosts for the ultimate solo group cruise. Good to see y'all here. And of course, if y'all are interested in booking that, you can reach out to any of the three hosts. Sig says, oh man, I'm late. I know y'all had a blast. It was a good time. And honestly, like it was just a good like group of people. So it was like we had just sitting around talking, drinking. That was like enough fun. Sometimes I also have to experience a ship by myself to like really get the vibe of it. But it was also, I will have to also say, the alchemy bar. So at one point, Tanya and Yolo had us at the alchemy bar, and I had like 3 of these like basil lemon drop something. I wasn't drunk. So like even the alchemy bar, I don't know. I don't know if Carnival will be pouring liquor sometimes. Yolo says, I had 2 naps and still couldn't do it. Traveling Black Couple says, repeating ships has you second guessing if you ever liked it. Yeah. Like the only time I repeated Carnival Mardi Gras before. I've done Carnival Mardi Gras twice. I was cool with going on a second time because the first time I went with my family. The second time I went Carnival Mardi Gras was with Melon at Sea. So 2 different vibes. But now I'm like, I don't have to get back on Carnival Mardi Gras. Carnival Celebration, like, I would get back on Carnival Jubilee. There are some ships that I'm like, I would get back on the ship. I would get back on Celebrity Ascent. I think 2 is probably my max, but there are some cruises that I'm like, oh, that was fine, but like, do I need to do this again? And Conquest kind of has me like, I don't want to do Conquest again, but I do want to get early Celebration Key content. So I might just suck it up and get back on. But I will say, like, if you want to have a girls trip, if you want to have like a birthday, quick sailing, you want to celebrate something, get on Carnival Conquest. Yellow says Conquest is a one and done for me. It was fun. I enjoyed it, but I'm good. Yeah, and that's kind of how I feel, Yellow. Like it wasn't bad, but it's like I would want to get on Sunrise. But I don't know if Sunrise one was going on Celebration Key. But it was definitely worth experiencing for sure. Sig says, I was on a Conquest sailing to Celebration in Key July, but decided to cancel and wait. Yeah, Sig, and that's what I'm contemplating about life right now. I'm debating if is Carnival really going to be done with Celebration Key in time to make, if Celebration Key is done and I can get on one of those first sailings there, or I am on one of the first sailings there, I'll be happy. But if I get on this Carnival Conquest again and Celebration Key only got that Sandcastle Tower and one slide and everything else is coming soon, I'm going to be pissed. Traveling Black Couple says, looking forward to the Celebration Key vlogs. Also wondering if it'll be ready on time. Yep. So I'm just like, do I wait till later to get the whole experience? Or it's one of those creators. Like if I was not a YouTuber, I would probably cancel. But since I am, and I'm like, I do want to get the Carnival, like that content and like she's like a first look at Celebration Key out there, I'm kind of like, I might stick to it. We'll see. Sig says, oh wow, the basil drop is my favorite there. Usually Alchemy has strong drinks. Yep. Sig, I had 3 basil drops. I had them add a little strawberry. So that's a tip. Ask them to add a little strawberry to your basil drop. Chef's kiss. However, I had 3 basil drops back to back and I walked out of there. So do that what you will. I think maybe they're scared to like pour liquor heavy on Conquest. I will also say Conquest, everybody was just taking shots. What up, G Fox? Good to see you in here. So yes, thanks for popping in, y'all. I'm going to wrap this because I don't want to lose any more voice that I have. But wanted to pop in and let you all know my thoughts on Carnival Conquest. The content will be coming out soon. I don't know. I know I have, I want to get my Dubai cruise out to you all. I think that will be next Monday meetup. So next Monday, I should not be live. Next Monday, we'll be doing the first of the Celestial Journey cruises. I have a Virgin Voyages Resilient Lady vlog that I need to push out. And then I got to figure out where I want to put Carnival Conquest in the mix of everything. But thank you all for being here. 32 people. My name is Carly. If you have not subscribed to the channel, subscribe. This is COSC. Thanks for chatting with me. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in one of my upcoming videos. Bye.